Episode 37. The Abyss of Verdant's Heart. The jungle of Earthward was a living nightmare, a labyrinth of bioluminescent malice that seemed to pulse with Verdant's own consciousness. The canopy above was a suffocating shroud, woven from gnarled vines and fungal tendrils that dripped viscous sap, glowing faintly in hues of green and violet, casting the path in a perpetual twilight that played tricks on the mind. The air was thick, humid, laced with the rancid sweetness of decay. Rotting flora, animal carcasses half dissolved by acidic pools, and the sharp tang of venomous spores that stung the lungs with every breath. Roots twisted underfoot, slick with luminescent slime, coiling like serpents ready to snag an unwary step, while distant shrieks of unseen beasts echoed, their cries warping into whispers that seemed to murmur, "Turn back." The team, Kane, Sadie, Aldus, Zara, Rook, and their three tribal guides, Talrin, Zara, and Korath, moved in a tight line, their steps deliberate, eyes darting to shadows that seemed to shift with intent. The jungle wasn't just alive, it was watching, its pulse a silent drumbeat of dread, each rustle a reminder that Verdant's will could crush them without warning. Kane led the way warily, scanning the glowing undergrowth, the burn of Verithal's venom still lingering. His shock knife was sheathed at his hip, its faint buzz a comfort against the jungle's oppressive weight. Sadie stayed close, cutting through the mist, hair matted with sweat, as she gripped a datapad, mapping their path. Aldus followed, unyielding, clutching a worn journal and muttering about ancient sigils carved into nearby tree trunks. Zara flanked the rear, black bodysuit torn but functional, and her mauled arm was bandaged but steady. Rook walked beside Kane restlessly, hazel eyes betraying a mind churning beneath his usual grin. The hunters, Talrin with his star-etched spear, Zara with her coiled vine whip, and Korath with his red-painted skull mask, moved like specters, their painted bodies blending with the jungle, their silence a stark contrast to the team's ragged breaths. The path narrowed, forcing them single file through a tunnel of thorns that pulsed with sap, their barbs glinting like teeth. Rook sidled closer to Kane, his slum drawl cutting through the jungle's noise, low but urgent, laced with a nervous edge. "Hey man, it's been a damn circus, huh? We ain't even had a chance to catch up, you and me, what with all the wolves in cages and cosmic bullshit." Kane's lips twitched, a grim half-smile, his dark eyes flicking to Rook without breaking stride. "Yeah, Rook, you got that right. What the hell happened to you? Vanished a year ago, end up in a Covenant dungeon, then somehow get tangled in this mess with me. Spill it." Rook's grin faltered, fidgeting with a frayed strap on his tactical vest, his voice dropping, raw with a vulnerability he rarely showed. "All right, Kane, here's the truth, no bullshit. I bailed on Freeland because I was sick of it. Heist after heist, scraping by for chump change, dodging Libra's drones. Kept thinking if I stayed, I'd end up dead in a ditch or rotten in a Libra cell. So I split, chasing something better, some new score, you know? Thought I'd find a place where the world still had some shine." He paused, boots squelching in the mud, eyes distant, haunted by memories the jungle seemed to amplify. "I headed to what used to be Dallas. Iron Dominion calls it Crimson Hollow now. My old man before the war was obsessed with the Dallas Cowboys, that football team, always yammering about their glory days. Figured there might be some of that magic left, something worth seeing. But Crimson Hollow? It's a pit. Hardened criminals, mercs, gangsters running the show. All sharp edges and no soul. Fell back into the life, same old grind. Odd jobs, heists, whatever paid. Got in deep with a loan shark, a real bastard named Corin, and I borrowed big just to stay afloat. Gambled it all at the Cyberdog races. Fixed probably those sleek bots rigged to screw you. Lost every Toshi coin, and Corin wanted blood or repayment." Rook's voice choked, gestures slowing, his face shadowed despite the glowing vines. "I bolted Kane, ran like hell, crisscrossing the dominions, trying to get back to Freeland. Started seeing it clear, what I left behind. Friends, family, a place I fit, even if it was a mess. But I didn't make it far. A bounty hunter, some Nova Reach psycho with a neural whip, caught me in a dust bowl near Iron Dominion's border. Thought I was heading back to Corinne's meat grinder, but no. They dragged me to a Covenant church, all crimson stone and thorned altars. Cyrus himself, that glowing-eyed freak, and his pet killer Xavier, started grilling me about you, your jobs, your rendezvous points, every damn thing. Didn't know why, but they were obsessed, like you were the key to their holy war. You know the rest, how I slipped their cuffs, stole a skiff, and ran till I found you. But man, this jungle, this core, it's bigger than us, and I'm wondering if I dragged their eyes right to you. Kane tensed, eyes narrowing, the jungle's pulse sinking with the weight of Rook's words. The revelation hit like a 15-ton grav hauler X9. Cyrus and Xavier hunting him. Rook's escape a thread tying them to this moment, like a beacon for every predator in the Dominions. He gripped Rook's shoulder, voice rough but steady. You didn't drag them, Rook. They were coming anyway. You're here now, part of this. We'll face it together, yeah? Rook nodded, his grin flickering back, but his eyes stayed haunted, the jungle's oppressive glow mirroring the doubt gnawing at him. The path widened, the thorns parting to reveal a clearing where a cave mouth yawned, its jagged entrance framed by glowing fungi and carved with ancient spirals. Wolves, stars, ships of light. The hunters tensed, Talrin's spear lowering, Vera's whip uncoiling, Korath's red mask tilting as he sniffed the air. Figures emerged from the cave, 6 earthward hunters, their bodies painted with bioluminescent sap, bone spears gleaming, and 3 shamans in robes of woven bark, their faces masked with carved skulls, staffs topped with pulsing crystals. At their center stood a grizzled figure, unmistakable despite the years. Beckett Rhodes, aka Jinx. Jinx was 63, weathered but sturdy, standing 5 feet 9 inches and about 160 pounds, his body clad in tattered explorer's gear, scuffed leather, patched canvas, a battered hat tilted low. His face was a map of creases, gray hair wild, sharp eyes glinting with mischief and world-weary wisdom. His movements slowed by age but deliberate, like a lion who'd outlived his hunters. He froze, his gaze locking on Aldus, a grin splitting his lined face, revealing a spark of the young adventurer beneath the grizzle. "Aldus Wellington, you old bastard!" Jinx's voice was a rasping boom, thick with Freeland's grit, as he strode forward, arms wide. "Thought you'd be dust by now, chasing ruins and dodging bullets." Aldus's weathered face lit up, his obsidian eyes sparkling as he met Jinx in a fierce hug, their laughter echoing off the cave's walls, a sound that cut through the jungle's dread. "Beckett, you rogue. Still stirring up trouble, I see. Thought you'd retired to some quiet archive, not this verdant hell." The team paused, the hunters and shamans watching with wary respect, their crystal staffs pulsing in sync with the cave's hum. Jinx clapped Aldus's shoulder, his grin widening, his eyes flicking to the others. Kane's intensity, Sadie's sharp poise, Zara's cold vigilance, Rook's restless energy. "Old times, Aldus. Remember that dig in the Yucatan? Outrunning raiders with nothing but a map and bad whiskey. But this is bigger." He turned, gesturing to the cave, his voice dropping, laced with feverish excitement that bordered on obsession. "Come in, all of you. I've found something. Discoveries that'll rewrite the stars. The jungle's hiding secrets, and I'm about to crack 'em wide open." The cave's mouth loomed, its glow pulsing like a heartbeat, the shaman's chants rising in a haunting cadence. Kane's eyes met Sadie's, her nod a silent oath, while Aldus gripped his journal tighter. The jungle's weight pressed in, Verdant's gaze a silent threat as they stepped toward the cave, Jinx's discoveries a flash in the dark, salvation or ruin, waiting to be unveiled.